Every choice has a consequence. On October 2nd, 1995, I took 23 physical steps. As I took those 23 steps, I thought about my wife. I thought about my two young children, Rob and Alex, so they were maybe this tall at the time. I thought about my career. I thought about the community that I lived in. I thought about the church where I had been music director for many years. I thought about everything that defined my life. Before I took those steps, I was Chuck Gallagher. I was a somebody. But on that day, as I took the 24th step, I reached out my hand, pushed open the door, and stepped in to federal prison. I then became 11-642-058, an inmate, what many people would define as a nobody. Every choice has a consequence. Now, on your end, a fair question at this point might be, why am I participating in an ethics program taught by somebody with a felony conviction? The answer is simple. I understand how good people with the best of intentions can start down the slippery slope of making poor choices with devastating consequences as a result. But I also recognize the power of our choices and how they can create opportunities beyond our wildest imagination. Every choice has a consequence, and the first step to making ethical, empowering choices is to recognize the role that our choices play in our life. A wise man said to me once, "Son, you've made a terrible mistake, but you are not a mistake." Let me repeat that. You've made a terrible mistake, but you are not a mistake. He continued by saying, the choices that you make today will create the foundation for the future that you live tomorrow and the legacy you leave for your two sons. Make those choices wisely. Those words changed my life. Take a moment now and look at the challenges you face in your life. How did your choices contribute to these challenges? What patterns, whether good or bad, can you see as a result of your choices? Today, look for at least one choice you can make that may shift a pattern of personal behavior in a healthier direction. Prison was life-changing for me. It taught me so many lessons that we'll explore throughout this course. But one, the statement, every choice has a consequence, has rung just as true today as it did then. Like it or not, it's a universal law, just like gravity. And so we must find a way to make the right choice. As I said, the first step to making ethical, empowering choices is to recognize the role our choices play in our lives. In the chapter tomorrow, I'll talk about my first days in prison and the power of reflection. But first, here's a short test. I'll see you next time.